And the game of the year goes to Fate Grand Order.
Okay, so I considered it. I did, but it's not on my list.
Good.
It's not on my list. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Ships Worldwide, a podcast which comes out sometimes.
Yeah, whenever we feel
like it. It's the end of another year, and we thought, hey, we should talk about our GOTYs, as people call them. Our games of the year, right?
Yeah.
What we played that we went...
And we actually have physical awards here.
Do we?
Yeah, we do. That are invisible, of course.
Okay. They're like NFTs.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, like, yeah, any game...
games we played, they're
awarded NFTs.
Yes, and we agreed they didn't have to come out this year.
No.
Now, that said, I think all mine are from this year.
Okay.
Or at least close enough. But, yeah, that's fine, because guess what? We make the rules.
Yeah.
Who cares?
We are Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, what's Jeff gonna do? Bust into my house and shove Doritos down my throat?
Just hear a gunshot.
Actually, I'm gonna be real. I feel like if I was in a dark alley with Jeff Keighley, I would be scared.
No, I feel like he embodies warmth when you're around him.
No. When I see his face, I get a little frightened.
I get comfy. I'm like, you're cool.
He feels chaotic to me. He actually frightens me a bit. I would be scared. And the problem is he's Canadian, so there is a chance.
Of what?
Of seeing him.
Oh.
Sometime. You never know when we'll be out somewhere and all of a sudden Jeff Keighley will appear and all you'll hear is world premiere. And then you see your death.
No, your world, you just go blind.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
So I'm slowly getting older. I'm 27 now.
Yeah.
And my time for games has been steadily decreasing.
It do be like that.
To the point where I'm just gonna play what I like.
That's
and
fine.
I know what I like.
No, that's fine.
And more of my shift has been going towards indie games because I've been so tired of this AAA bullshit.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
It's just getting so exhausting.
Dude, when I met you, you were like excited for every Call of Duty.
That's what I was gonna bring up.
It was so weird.
I'm like, why don't you like Western games, dude? It's like they're so fun and cool. And now I'm like, wow, they suck.
It literally started when I showed you Final Fantasy 15, which I will say is pretty Western, right? Compared to
that was a good toe in the water.
It was a good toe in the water, right? You could go, oh man, you can enjoy a game's characters.
Every game on my list is Japanese.
That's what happens, dude.
I don't think I've played a Western game this year.
To be fair, there's not many that would make you go...
Is Hades Western? It's not on my list, but I'm playing it right now.
You know what? The Hades Supergiant are so anime-inspired that I don't count it. Like, they are Western, but, like, look at Transistor, right? Like, even, like, Braid... Like, Braid was pretty Western. I mean, in more ways than one. But as they went on, they definitely went more and more, like, Japanese. I mean, yeah, dude... Hades is getting Nendroids.
Yeah, right.
Like, I would say, like Hades and even like Undertale. Like, if your indie game is getting Nendroids, of which a bunch have been announced, like we got Shantae, Undertale, Helltaker. Like, even though they're Western, they don't feel it because Japan just grabbed the Skullgirls. Like, that's getting, So.
But again, like, to bring up NFTs again, like, all these companies are, like, dipping their toes in it and, like...
What, aren't you excited for Ubisoft to make NFTs? And it was so bad that they deleted literally every single reference to it on all their platforms ever.
No, I didn't hear about it.
Oh, I
heard about it, but I didn't hear about, like, the deletion of
everything. They backed down so hard, literally... You can't go to the archived parts of the site. Like, it's that bad.
But everything with, like, Activision Blizzard and, like... when I think about Overwatch now, it's just a negative thought.
Every single year, there's a podcast clip from the best friends, and they said you can't go wrong with the three Bs of gaming: BioWare, Blizzard, and Bethesda.
And Bethesda's kind of hanging off the rocks.
Yeah, well, they didn't they just put Skyrim up again?
Yeah, the anniversary edition.
It's not funny anymore.
But it has new content, I think.
It has fishing.
It has, yeah, right? It's exciting.
Guess what? Every JRPG has fishing.
What else has the Western market?
Well, we can check out we have it open. We have the major games here. Nintendo purchases Next Level Games.
That's good.
That's good. I mean, they were only doing Nintendo stuff anyways. New Ubisoft game for Star Wars. Ooh. Yo-Yo Games was acquired by Game Maker.
We're gonna go through all of these?
No, we're not gonna go through them all. Dude, remember the Stadia?
Barely.
Dude, that's so.
I remember getting ad after ad about
it. Let's see here. What else was a big thing? I'm just looking. Oh, right, there was the Epic Games versus Apple lawsuit. That was pretty big. That revealed some interesting stuff, especially about how Sony is the one blocking crossplay on stuff, and there's the crossplay fee. Yep. Bunch of companies got taken up by like Sony and Xbox. They're kind of buying them up there. It's
mostly just like the third-party companies that are kind of just dying.
Yeah.
Because PlayStation and Xbox as a first-party brand are still pretty intact in my mind.
Yeah.
Like, they're still pretty cool.
Yep, yeah.
Because like God of War is coming out, and I'm looking forward to that.
And we can rest assured that...
And Halo is good.
Oh, yeah, it is. No, for sure. But we can rest assured that David Jaffe is staying away from it at least.
Did you see the Nintendo commercial that focuses directly on that scene?
Yeah, and did you see the fact that he said that Metroid Dread only won the action game because he said someone died, so they changed it at the last second?
How far
it's so
can
bad.
you fall?
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's So just looking here, new like the big new installments that like jump out at me. There's that Alex Kidd re-release, Axiom Verge 2.
I still have to play that.
Blaster Master, Blue Reflection 2. I played that. That's actually pretty
Bus
fun
Simulator.
There. What's that? But I don't know Bus Simulator. I didn't play Bravely Default 2 because I hear it wasn't that great actually.
It was. I think it was more of the same.
Yeah.
If you liked it.
Yeah.
So.
New Disgaea, new Dragon Quest. What was Dragon Quest this year? I don't remember actually.
It's probably like a spin-off.
What do you mean new Drakengard? Oh, right. No, because it was the Nier. Yeah, Nier's Drakengard. Final Fantasy, Ghosts and Goblins, Guardians of the Galaxy. That game still surprises me.
I still need to get around to that.
We did a quick look of it, and that game is actually super legit.
Really?
Yeah, it's super legit. Guilty Gear Strive, Halo Infinite. Let's see what else. Life is Strange, where your superpower is being able to look at someone who's angry and understand that they're angry. Empathy.
Wouldn't that be just easy to tell by their body language?
Yeah, that's why everyone memed on it. Because she's like, I can look at people and tell how they're feeling. And we all died, and we're like, yeah, like most people. But I guess for gamers, that's a skill they don't know.
Emotional intelligence isn't
It's literally called empathy. It's like, it's a thing most humans have. Mario Golf, Mario Party, SMT5, as well as 3HD. Metroid, Monster Hunter, No More Heroes, the re-releases, Resident Evil 8. That's a dang good game.
What new Mario game came out this year?
I think that just counts all the spin-offs too.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Well, no, because Mario Golf and Mario Party are up there.
Bowser's Fury. That's actually a really good one.
Oh, yeah.
I completely forgot about it.
You played that?
Yeah, I played through it, yeah.
Okay.
Neo 20, new WarioWare, Yakuza, good stuff. Like there are some good games this year for sure. So shall we get into what some of our games are that we enjoyed?
So you are all over the place except for the first number one.
Yeah. So like for me, I literally can't order them because.
And
they're so different.
I think I've only played 5 games or 6. Yeah, 6 games this year.
That's fair.
All which I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
So it's again through my experience with games now. It's like I play what I enjoy.
I'm definitely the type that, see, I'm not going to say I'm the opposite, but I'm definitely more going for, like, I'm checking off that checklist of games that were ones I've always wanted to play, but never had the chance to.
And that's what I want to do, but I'm just, like, so busy. I got to choose what I play.
No, that's fair.
Right? So.
Yeah, no, but, like, I used to really, really, really worry about, I got to play the new games first.
See, that's what I'm kind of, like, jumping off from, because that, it was exhausting.
Yeah,
just keeping up.
It's so bad. Right? And then you buy a game and then you won't play it because then you're like, oh, frick, now I'm not gonna...
It really started in 2019 when, like, the Nintendo games were coming out and, like, there's, like, Dragon Quest, there's, like,
So many
coming out in 2019. And I'm like, I can't catch up because I'm in college now. I'm, like, doing all these things.
Yeah.
And now it's just... I still haven't played the games from 2019 and it's, like...
No,
just exhausting.
So now I'm, like, I'm just playing them in whatever order. Like, when I feel like playing a game, if I don't own it, I'll buy it. If I do, that's when I play it. Like, I mean, frick, I got a review code for Atelier Raza 1 like 2 years ago for my Switch. It was an early Switch game. And like I did one video on it and I was like, I can't wait to come back to that. And literally it took until we were driving to the mountains and I was just bored. So I just started playing it and I'm like, this game's really good. And the fact that the sequel's out doesn't override that, right? I can still enjoy a game if it came out later, and I can still enjoy it, and I don't have to worry.
Well, that's with me with Hades.
Yeah.
Like, I got the game, like, downloaded on my Switch. It's been on there for a year.
Yeah.
And now I'm finally getting around to it, and I love it.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And I think it's important to be, like, to realize... You don't have to play a game as soon as it's out, unless it's something that you've been super excited for and you need to, right? So then that's understandable.
So when Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, day one.
Oh, yeah.
Final Fantasy Remake 2 comes out, day one.
Day one, absolutely.
Yeah, those games are, like, priority.
Yeah, like, for me, honestly, like I could have put off playing the Diamond and Pearl remakes. That would have been fine.
Yeah, me too.
But our Legends Arceus, that's day one for me. Like, okay. I'm really excited for that because that is something that I want to see where it goes, right? Yeah, so...
You done your thought?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. You have any honorable mentions? So it's, like, something that you played and enjoyed, but you haven't finished yet. So all the games on your list should be something you've...
Oh, I did I finish all of my games on here? Because I don't necessarily think that you have to finish a game.
Well, if it's a game that can't be finished...
Well, no, but I could still say that's one of my favorites, even if it's one... I mean, yeah, like, some of mine can't be finished, because they're just not that type of game.
But, like, for me, Luigi's Mansion 3. Like,
okay.
Haven't finished that, but it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
And I, like, just, like, kind of fell off because something else came out. It was Metroid.
Yeah.
So, another game, Hades, I'm going through it right now. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard as nails. But as you say, it's a skill issue.
I mean, it's both skill issue. It's just learning, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, a lot of it's learning. And because it's a roguelike, it's a little bit of luck, too.
Yeah.
Because you want to get the good stuff on your run.
Mm-hmm.
I guess for me, I mean, this is just an honorable mention for the fact that it's not in my top, but it's super old, and I beat it this year. But that's Tsukihime, the original, like, story of it. It is so... I'd say it's not as good as the original Fate story, but it has some very surprising twists, and the characters are very likable, which is great. I mean, if you're reading a novel that's all talking and, it has a bit of action, but mostly talking, you'd hope the characters are likable, but it's to a point where, I went from, okay, I see these characters and I don't feel anything towards them, to I see them and I go, oh my god, I love them, right? Like, I immediately connect with them now, which is wonderful, even if the writing of the love-making scenes is the worst thing ever. But I enjoyed that there. I mean, I said it's not going to be on my list, but, like, honorable mention is just the 2021 content of Fate Grand Order. Like, I mean, you're laughing, but it came out this year,
yeah,
because it's new content that just keeps coming out, and, like,
Well, is that your best ongoing game award?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I am. I just put up episode 300 of my Let's Play of it, of which they are more than hour-long episodes.
Wow, you've dedicated a lot of your time to this game.
A lot. Like I think I did the analytic, and it's like if you were to just put on the playlist, it's almost half a month of footage.
Holy shit.
That you can play. And it's like, and I'm sure people are like, well, what do you do in that game? I'm like, it's story. That's writing. Like the writing for this mobile game has some of the best writing that I've read, and it's a mobile game, and it's free. And unlike some free mobile games, it's legitimately free. You do not have to put in a cent and you can experience it all. Like, aside from a couple things that are locked if you don't have a character, but even still, it's like, that's so small. Like, you can play through the whole game without it. And it's like, this game is so good. I regret none of the money I put into it. Mm-hmm. Because every now and then I'll be like, I want this character. I'm going to put in a little bit of money. And that just increased my chances of getting them. I do not feel at all like it is too much or anything.
Predatory?
It's not predatory. Like, okay, if you keep missing your character, then it will feel predatory. It is still up to chance.
Yeah.
But like the fact that all you're missing is having that as a character that you have, you still get all the story and you can play it with the free characters. And they're more than fine. Some of them are better than the paid ones. And it's just like, and the fact that it's like, okay, Christmas, December 25th, here's half a 10 roll. Just 15 of the premium currency, you need 30 for a 10 roll, or 11 roll. It's like, it feels really nice. And just so good. Like, I would not have put in this amount of time if it wasn't that good.
Okay, I have two things. Going back to old games that you finished this year, mm-hmm. Final Fantasy VII.
The original.
Nice. Amazing game.
It's so good.
Like,
it's literally like every single...
That game hasn't, like, that's an old game, and it's given me emotions no other game has.
And like when I played it for the first time, I'm like, oh my god, every single screen of this game is iconic.
Yeah.
There's not a moment in that game where it is a forgettable or nothing screen. Every single section, you're literally going from like set piece to set piece to set piece. Mm-hmm. You don't stop. It's so good.
And like the moment that sticks out most in my mind is the after the Temple of the Ancients, when Sephiroth gets the black materia.
Oh,
it gave me anxiety.
It's scary.
I actually felt anxiety. I'm like, how the fuck did this old ass game?
Little Lego people. Yeah. It's so good.
Like it's an amazing game.
I'm really enjoying seeing people go back and play the original after playing the remake, mm-hmm. because I know a lot of people who just jumped on with the remake. And then of course you play the remake and you go, I think I need to play the original, right? And so you see that and just seeing people go, oh my god, these old games, they hold up.
Yeah.
And I love seeing that, right? And I think FF7, which is so funny that it was proudly advertised that it could not fit on a Nintendo console. It's the funniest thing. Every year, it's funnier. Literally, there's advertisements saying there's too much for a cartridge. You can get it on a Switch cartridge now. It's so good.
And my other thing is, like, best ongoing thing, not really, but thing I wanted to mention was the Animal Crossing update this year.
Yeah.
With Happy Home Paradise.
I
literally, like, dream comes true.
I played a bit of that on the vacation there.
Yeah.
And, man... That's just comfy. It's nice.
The update or
both?
The DLC.
Both.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I played stuff in the update, but then I just recently got the DLC, and it's just like, yeah, it's
the customization now. It's like it's so overwhelming that it's like, and the stuff I've seen people make, I'm like, are we even playing the same game?
Yeah, I saw someone make this incredible looking thing, and it's like it revealed like, oh, they used like the countertops to make like the wall kind of come out.
Yeah.
And then it looks almost like it was so beautiful. I'm like, wow, that's cool.
And then there's like the effects now and like
it's good.
The wall partitions and it's just like.
Yeah.
So hopefully they carry that into the next one.
I think they will. 8 years
from now.
No, I think they will. So. Oh yeah, and it'll be a bit. And I know there's some people, well, just like with like Mario Kart, there's people that are like screaming like, we need a new Mario Kart. And it's like there's so much stuff in this one. feel fine.
And it's still selling, and it's still the best selling Switch.
It's still
game.
selling great. They bundle it with the Switch because they know that's what people are buying it for.
Yeah. So, yeah, you want to get into the main? Unless you have a world premiere.
I don't, sadly.
No, damn.
No.
You don't have a game to announce?
No, sadly, no. But I do have a game that we already talked a lot about, so I'm going to start with this one.
Okay.
Metroid Dread.
Oh, right off the bat.
I mean, well, again, mine's not in any order aside from the number one, but that one
Dread is my number 2.
Okay, that's fair. We already did a whole podcast on
Yes.
Dread. So all I'll say is Dread continues to be sick. I actually, I didn't do a second playthrough, but I did a second commentary on it. And watching someone else play the game, because it was with me and Tom from Hellfire Comms, he played the game, and just seeing different ways of tackling certain things and going, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Is really cool.
And just all the sequence breaking people to discover.
Oh, it's great, right? Just seeing, like, as time goes on, more and more stuff's being discovered. He'll be like, oh yeah, you can grapple the shields off the Chozo robots. It's like, what?
You didn't know that?
No. What? Right? So it's like just little things that just keep popping up, and then I'll inform him of something where it's like, oh, you know, the turrets, as soon as the ball becomes the biggest, you can immediately parry them. And he's like, what? And just like, yeah, that sharing of information, it reminded me a lot of like when Breath of the Wild first came out. And you could literally just tell someone something and they'd go like, I never thought of that, or I didn't know that, right? Like that level of that, to me, is my favorite type of multiplayer, which is we're all discovering stuff together, right? Like the first time I heard about a dragon in Breath of the Wild, it was the coolest thing ever. You know, they're like, go to this bridge, just right there. And just like hearing these stories about like people discovering stuff, and that's what it reminds me of, that idea of that collaborative gaming. That is my favorite type of multiplayer gaming, is the idea of everyone shares these ideas and learns new stuff.
I'm just glad Metroid is back.
Yeah.
And, like, in this like format.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get more.
And I do think that Prime 4 has some big shoes to live up to.
Well, we are going to get more Metroid now. This is the best-selling game
Oh
in the
yeah.
series.
Oh yeah.
It's made money.
It's not only made money, it's made like the previous game's money.
Yeah.
Like it's to the point where everyone went, "Oh, yo, Metroid?" Even Japan, who famously has been pretty apathetic towards Metroid, they're even like, "Yo, this is good," right? It's like it is. It's a thing that makes people go like, they understand now why people like Metroid.
Yeah.
I've seen people say like, I bounced off of Super Metroid, I bounced off of Fusion, and they play this one, they're like, I get it. Now I'm going back.
Yeah.
Right? And that's awesome.
So yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
All right, what about you?
Well, maybe I'll go the same vein as you and just bring up the games that I've played this year.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh, that was gonna be my next one.
Very, very good game.
That's on my list there.
Yeah, I love just like. Well, I'm not as big of a fan as you are.
Yeah, I basically beat it.
There's just so much content to like.
And it's funny because like you talk to a Monster Hunter fan and they're like, it feels the least amount of content.
It's enormous,
right? It feels it, and that's the thing. It's like people who played it for a long time, people who like are a big Monster Hunter head. Of course, they're gonna think it's like. They're gonna think like, yeah, it's not a lot. There's only like 45 like, monsters,
different
which is like,
weapons to tackle, and I keep doing the same one over and over again to try to get a rare material.
Yeah,
and then upgrade the armor and keep going there. And,
yeah, it's.
And then there's a giant expansion coming out next year. I'm like,
well, I'll give you advice. They added in one of the updates, you get an armor that's basically armor good enough to coast you to the end of the game.
Okay.
It's called the Guild Cross armor, and it was also added to Monster Hunter World when its expansion was coming out, and it's literally for the sake of, hey, we know you want to buy the expansion. Are you having a bit of trouble getting to it? Don't worry, we gotcha. And no, it's like the only thing that I haven't done is I haven't beat the toughest monster in the game, the last one they added, because he is freaking crazy. Like, I can do the final boss of the game in my sleep. This one is like the super boss, and I don't even know how to approach it. And I've literally kidded myself out in the game that I use a hunting horn that heals me on that heals the party on every second hit. Meaning I do a hit and I do 2 hits, I heal a chunk of damage from everyone. That went through most of the game, and I was like, that's awesome. And then I get to this boss, and it's like, sorry, it's not happening. It's like, and it's great. It's great that there is, even though I felt like I mastered the game, I honestly felt by the end that I'm like, I got this. I made the perfect kit. I feel great. I feel like nothing can harm me. And they're like, by the way, enjoy Crimson Valstrax. And I'm just like, I can't beat him once.
Yeah.
And that was what happened with Monster Hunter World, where they put in the behemoth from Final Fantasy. And so tough. But then the DLC comes out. You can now get stronger stuff than what was endgame equipment there.
Yeah.
Now go back. Beat him. And it's so good.
So is that what you're going to do with...
Probably. I don't think I'll be beating him anytime soon. And it doesn't help that, like, not only are your deaths a problem, but your party members' deaths. So it's like, I could be playing well, but if one of those guys dies 3 times, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, but that's...
What did you think of the monsters in this one?
I really liked them. I thought a lot of them were... a lot of them felt kind of derivative of some of the other monsters in the series, but not in a bad way, but in a way where I'm like, yeah, there's no blank, but this is close enough, right? And some of the new ones were very creative. I love, probably one of my favorites is Alamudron, who's like this
that thing.
The mud dragon.
And how it like makes like this, like when it's near the end of the battle, it like makes the tunnel.
Yeah.
That you go down and you slide.
Wait, tunnel?
Not a tunnel, but like cliffs or whatever.
Yeah, he'll make the cliffs so you can like run around and fight. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah. He's and really cool.
The whip. What are they called?
Just the spear bugs?
They make the game so much fun.
Oh, so much fun. I mean, it's literally they finally added a jump button.
Yeah.
Which is but not just a jump button. It's an air dash. It's you can use them for attacks. You can use them for so much. And just adding that one small
like whipping
thing
around monsters and going like
oh, it's great. Yeah. And once you're really good with it, it's just like you have such aerial supremacy. If there's a monster that's hit you and you need to get away, you can wire bug away from them. That's what they are. The wire bugs.
Like float in the air as it like
float and hang there, right? And it's just again, it's one of those things where you can start to share these little strategies. Like in the final boss, he does this crazy attack where there's like giant things flying everywhere, and it's really tough to avoid. So I just saw someone, and they literally just you see them. And they throw the smoke ball down, and they just return to base. And I'm like, oh. So I just return to base. I wait about 30 seconds. I sharpen my weapon. I have a drink, and then I go back in and avoid it. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Right. And I love these little secrets that you get. Right. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more. Some of the crossover content was fun. Getting to get Amateras. I mean, we knew that was coming. Oh, yeah. Okami, like, come on, that, obviously, right?
Also, the dog riding is just
dog riding's so fun. Yeah. Dog drifting. Getting Rush from Mega Man, because when you drift with him, he turns on his jet boosters, so you get to boost with him.
That's cool.
Playing as Akuma. If you get the Akuma armor, it turns your kunai into Hadokens. So you can literally be like in the air doing Hadokens. You can get a weapon which are invisible dual blades. So it looks like you're just punching the monster. Oh. And when you do the super, which is normally like just like this uppercut, it turns into his Street Fighter super where he does like little things like that, right?
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, that was one of my games that I'm just like so good. If it had cross save, I would definitely look into getting the PC version, but I'm not doing all that again. So it's like, sorry. And they even said like they tried, but because of how the save system was set up, they couldn't make it work. But it sounds like when we get another one in the future, that's something they're going to try and get going, right? That cross save, because I wouldn't buy the PC version to start again, no matter how much nicer it looks. Because I don't know if you know, Monster Hunter World on Steam is one of the most played Steam games.
Oh, really?
Worldwide. It's huge. So of course they're bringing it to there, right?
So the Monster Hunter is my number 4.
I think that was my number 4, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Well, kind of my number 4. That was going to be on one of the ones I talked about for sure.
Okay. It's your turn.
Okay. So yeah, we talked about Monster Hunter Rise. So this is from this year. I had to think about it. I'm like, is it from this year? And then I look, and I'm like, oh yeah, it is. Shin Megami Tensei 3 HD.
Okay.
I
Sure.
haven't finished it yet, but I am right near the end.
Okay.
Right near the end. And oh man, is that game addictive. The way that the demon fusion works is it's just so freeform, where it's like, because I don't think there are sacrifices in like the Persona games that work this way, where it's literally just like, okay, you have 2 demons that you're fusing, you can add one to sacrifice, and all it does is give the pool of abilities that they have to them, so you can literally mold the perfect teams. So for instance, like, I just got an Ifrit, right? And I got that, which is a fire spirit, right? Drains fire, weakness is ice. And I'm like, check this out. I got one of the demons that has null ice as an ability. I put that on, and it's like, boom, no weaknesses. And I just feel so big brain. And despite everything that I'm doing, despite me almost feeling like, man, I almost feel like I'm breaking the game with some of the stuff I'm doing, the game will always be like, just kidding. And you'll still have problems, and you'll still face challenges. My attack and life are maxed out in game.
Really?
They're maxed out right now. They are 40 out of 40, because you have 40 little blips, right? And even then, I'm like, I'm still having, I'm not going to say trouble, but there's challenge. And so it's one of those games where it's like, you don't have to like worry about going too hard. You can just have fun. Sorry, wait, hold up. I Uncharted Waters 4. Wait. That came out what? Did that come to the West? What? Uncharted Waters is one of my favorite obscure games. What? I don't think that...
World premiere.
What do you mean it was on the Switch? What? Was that only in Japan?
Maybe.
Because, like, that's gonna literally drive me nuts. I've been looking... This is like learning one of your favorite childhood games. Okay, Play Asia. Does that have an English version? Japan own... Is it Japan? Frick, it's only in Japanese. And it's like wait, Korean? Sorry, I've completely killed everything. But because I just learned it's on Steam. What? Is it? What? No way, it's in English. Site error. Probably not.
You just go to Steam and type in Uncharted Waters. We interrupt this.
This is Uncharted Waters is one of my favorite games as a kid on the SNES. Uncharted Waters Online. Uncharted Waters 2? Is it in English?
English language not supported.
Frick! Not supported? Oh, dude, this game was my jam as a kid. I can't believe they're on Steam. How many are there? But they're all Japanese. No. Sorry. I'm so bad. Okay. What were we talking about?
SMT3.
Right. The game's really good. But no, it's the added new features for the HD version, because I know there's some people that are like, the music's not uncompressed. Like, the music's compressed. And honestly, I can barely tell. They're like, oh, there's a bit of slowdown. It's like barely there. It's like whatever. Like the problems that people took as like terrible, I'm like, they're fine. And the things that they added are so much better. So being able to choose your skills, you don't have to go back and forth and hope for the best. Being able to grind with the DLC. The DLC grinding makes that game a million times better. Like, absolutely worth the purchase. So, no, it's really good.
Did you get to the Dante stuff?
So Dante appears pretty early.
Okay.
But then if you don't do kind of the secret ending, you don't see Dante again. If you do, I'm not going for the secret ending right now, so I haven't seen him again. But the Dante stuff is just cool. Cause
he's like hunting you or something?
I haven't gone through that yet.
Oh, okay.
You basically, if you have the Dante DLC, he appears in front of an early dungeon. He literally like falls from the sky and appears in front of you. And he's voiced by his real actor, which is awesome. And he just appears, he does crazy stuff, and then he's like, "Hi, you're pretty cool. All right, bye." Right? So I'll be checking that out later, but for now I want to do the regular ending first.
Oh, cool. Did you ever play Monster Hunter Stories 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've definitely got a lot less through it, and I enjoy it. But there's people who are like, "Man, this is what Pokemon should have been," and I'm like, I disagree, because the people that complain that the level design of Pokemon is kind of forgettable. The dungeons in that game are literally randomized, and there's like 20 chunks that can be randomized, so you go through them all right away. So it's like, I'm like, I really disagree. I think making them randomized is way more boring than a real designed route.
Yeah.
So like, I enjoy it, but I definitely disagree that people are like, I disagree that it's better than Pokemon. I don't think so. I think Pokemon is way better.
Okay.
Okay.
My turn?
Yeah, your turn.
So I'll say my number 5, I guess.
Okay.
Or game I played this year. It was WarioWare Get It Together. I really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed the micro games in that one.
Yeah.
How everyone's like playable in their own sense.
It's interesting. There's some people who don't like that, but I think it just taking like one micro game and being able to warp it for like 20 different play styles
16,
almost.
I think.
Yeah, like really a lot of them. It really ups the ante for now you have to look at them in different ways.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got the same micro game, but it's like now you have to think about it with an entirely different way because you're playing as 16 volt. It's like, oh man, I'm so used to playing this with Wario, and now it's like completely different, right? And I like that idea of taking things and remixing them with different characters.
Yeah, and all just the different, like, well, they do this for every WarioWare game, but like the different themes, like house cleaning Nintendo, that type of thing, and like, yeah, it was just a really fun game. Yeah, but it's not like amazing. It's not
and there's not much to say about it. Really. Yeah, it's just like it's more like there's games that are
amazing, though.
What's that?
Penny Song.
Yeah, I love it.
Good.
It's so good. It's so good. No, it's cool. Just that like, one, we got a new one, but two, it's like they evolved the formula.
Like a brand new one, not like a greatest hits with gold.
Yeah.
So
okay,
that's my number 5.
So number 5.
So my number 1 and 3 are remaining.
So I have my I have my other one and then my number 1.
Okay.
So my other one is my fighting game for the year. Do you have a guess which one it is?
I get King of Fighters and Guilty Gear mixed up. Is it Guilty Gear that came out this year?
So Guilty Gear did come out this year, but I actually don't have it. Because I played the beta and I didn't love it. I'm sorry, Beat, if you're listening. I know he loves it, but I didn't love it as much. I felt like they slowed it down too much.
Okay. What other fighting game came out this year? I feel like it's like a Blaze Blue?
No, there hasn't been a Blaze Blue for a while.
Grand Blue?
No, that was like 2 years ago.
Does it have a blue in its name?
No. Huh. It has a bodily fluid.
Fighting EX Lair? No.
Which of those is a bodily fluid?
Lair?
No, I'm not an onion.
Give me another hint.
Turn around. Other way.
Oh, the fake Fate fighting game?
It's not Fate, but Saber's in it. Melty Blood.
Oh.
Yeah, the new Melty Blood.
Oh.
Dude, it's a new Melty Blood. Okay, so so like and it's kind of under a lot of people's radar because it is like weirdly released. It just kind of dropped worldwide at the same time. It's on everything, but like at the same time it's not huge. But like it's twofold for me. Kind of three. But it's like, one, this is the first big like Fate universe, because it's called the Nasuverse, like all the Fate and adjacent stuff.
Of course.
It's the first big one that I've been there from announcement to release. And the first one where I got to be part of that hype and part of the speculation. And it's for a fighting game, so at least I know stuff about how it's going to play.
Yeah.
But it's also like wild that it exists, because it was one of those things that people thought was just not going to happen anymore. But suddenly they announced it in a magazine randomly. Everyone freaked out, and it got a worldwide release. And it is amazingly fun. It's one of the few fighting games to simplify without losing the depth, right? It's simpler than the old ones, because the old ones are kind of messed up. Old fighting games are kind of messed up. You have to be a real freak to enjoy what some of them do. Like, you look at the hitboxes of old Melty Blood, and they're memes. Like, Melty Blood hitbox is a meme. I'm gonna Google it, Melty Blood hitbox meme, and you're gonna see how ridiculous these hitboxes are.
Why are they so far away from the character?
The red is the hitbox. That's how much they do. Right? Look at this one. And that's from the new one.
Oh my god.
Like, we're looking at Miyako's super there, which is just like, yeah, the whole thing turns red around her. It's like hilarious. Melty Blood hitboxes are some of the funniest stuff. They are way too much, but that's part of the fun of the game. Is that it's like it's wild, yeah. Like it's wonderful. I love it so much, and being able to play that, and like it's simplified a lot of it, but at the same time, it like it's still everything that it wants to be. It's not like Guilty Gear, which honestly, there's so many people that look at the new Guilty Gear and they go, yeah, you made it simpler, but at the cost of depth, right? Mm-hmm. But now it's like, I mean, I literally was just playing earlier, and I was doing like I haven't put a lot of time in with the game. I play it, when I play it, I love it, but I don't play it a ton. I haven't been practicing. But it's like, I will literally do an air combo, do a uppercut in the air. I will do a cancel into super mode. I will do another uppercut in the air. I will then do a super in the air. And then I will end by grabbing them and LeBron James dunking them down. And it's not hard. You can do it. And it's like, it feels reliable. It feels good. You feel powerful. And so like, that's awesome. And of course, Saber's in it. So
of
it's
course.
like, that's
game of the year.
Yeah, like that's a big thing. But actually, like, her being in, like, yeah, that would have got me to play it before. But even like all the other characters, I'm like, they're really good. The only one I don't like is the one they just announced as DLC.
Who's that?
Because she's a problem. Yeah,
he's looking at
Melty Blood, Lumina DLC. Where is she? There she is. It's a child.
Oh no.
Ugh. Right? But it's like, I look at the rest of the cast and I'm like, I really like these characters. They're all fun and unique, and it's a really good fighting game that I'm happy to have witnessed the birth of, and I'm super excited to play more. Like, it's just fun to pick up and play. And I never thought it would happen. It's so good. So, that was my second last. What about yours?
Resident Evil 8.
That's a good one.
It is so good. I do enjoy, I think, like now that I think about it, do I prefer it over 7 or?
It's tough because they're very different.
Yeah.
They're very different. I mean, they're about as different as like Resident Evil 3 to 4, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, they're different experiences.
Mm-hmm. And like, both of them focus on like, each area has their own like type of horror.
Yep.
Like in 8, the castle is all about like gothic horror. And
8
like,
feels like a sampler platter of a variety of different horrors.
but so does 7.
No, I feel 7's idea is a lot more cohesive. 8 almost felt to me like here's a mini adventure to go on. Mm-hmm. And you go to each area and each one feels like here's what you're dealing with, and it's going to be, again, different types of horror, almost different genres. Where it's like,
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like each one you go through, it feels so different. And I mean, aside from, I'd say like the last one, they're the perfect length. They all feel like they go on for just the right amount of time. Mm-hmm. I think the last one goes for a bit long.
Well, it is like right before the final.
It is, yeah. And the game is pretty short all in all.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, you go through it and nothing feels like it lasts too long. It feels like a game that is very, I don't want to say like streamer bait, but it feels like they know exactly how to pace it so that you're having fun throughout, which is so good.
Yeah, the intro's a bit long. So for like those like repeat playthroughs,
yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
it could be a bit tedious, but like once you're in the castle, it's like this is awesome.
Yeah, oh yeah, and it's
and then like the second area is like incredibly scary.
Oh, it's really scary.
Yeah,
and yet it's you know what? It's really scary, but I don't think it's too much. You know, I'm bad with horror games.
Oh yeah,
but I actually
you want to bring up Phasmophobia?
I'm not going to.
No,
but I found it to be just the perfect amount where I got spooked without being paralyzed with fear. And it definitely helped that, like, I knew, okay, if I die, I hit restart, right? It's like, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's not, there's no huge consequences, right? And even in that whole horror section there, it's like, you know that it's made for you in a way that you can escape and you can survive. Yeah. Right? It's the fact that there's, when you're chased by horrifying baby creature, you know, there's 3 different ways to avoid him. I didn't know you could hide under the bed. I was in the closet.
Yeah.
I didn't know you can just literally run around in the kitchen there and avoid him and just run past it. Like, it's another one of those things where it's like through watching other people play, you learn these little secrets. And I like that. And it's helped by being short.
Yeah.
And like, I know there's people who are like, it's a short game, you're wasting your money. It's like, no, because I'm way more likely to play through it again.
Yeah.
Like, I could literally just pick it up in an afternoon and just be like, let's go through. Let's get as far as I can. Maybe over a weekend, I'll beat the whole thing again, right?
And the game also like adds so much to the lore and makes me so interested in like the previous games.
Yeah.
And like what, now that 8's out, it's like, how does it connect to everything else?
Yeah, it sets up some very interesting stuff for the future, I think.
Yeah.
Still don't love what they did with Chris, but it's better than what happened with him in 7. He's so better. Great, he's so much better. I still don't love it. He still feels kind of off. I just wish
some of his decisions were stupid.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, if they just switched him back to Roger Craig Smith, it'd be fine. I don't like his new guy, his new voice.
I like it.
It's like I have so much attachment to the one from 5 and 6 and Marvel vs. Capcom, where it's like, that's Chris for me.
Well, see, I got into the series with 7.
Exactly, so it's different,
and I played
right?
2 remake and now 8.
Yeah, so it's just like, you know, for me, it's like, I didn't believe it was Chris in 7, because I'm like, that doesn't look like him, right? Now it looks a lot more like him, at least, so.
That's good. Yeah, that's my number 3.
Okay.
So now our number 1s.
Yes.
Go ahead.
New
Paper Mario.
Pokemon Snap.
Really?
Dude, you want to talk
Game of the year.
Game of the year.
Wow.
You want to talk about a game that literally checked every box I had from since when I was 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Every single box was checked off. It is the perfect game that I've literally dreamt about since I was a child. And when I say literally dream about, I mean, I've had dreams of playing a new Pokemon Snap game featuring stuff that's actually in the game. Onyxes towering over you, Steelix looking at your head through caves, legendary Pokemon that you can encounter, day-night cycles, new secrets that you can still discover, a mission, like an achievement structure that literally can have me playing the game for months and finding new stuff, right? Secret routes, secret paths, RNG elements even.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you talk about a game that is the perfect sequel, this is it for me. And it's a game that I've wanted for so long and was terrified when it was announced. Because I was like, I don't know if they can make it now. I don't know if it would have the charm. And not only does it have the charm, but it even directly features characters and with the DLC locations from the original. And again, I play Pokemon Snap like almost once a year through. It's a 3-hour game and I would play it over and over as a kid, right? So for me to have a 30-hour game with more content that you can keep discovering, it could not have been a better game for me. And it is honestly, like, it's the few times where I can honestly say I think it surpasses the original. Which, for a game that I played as a kid, it's real tough to surpass those childhood memories.
Yeah.
It's real tough. But, like, it actually surpasses it and fixes almost everything. The only thing that makes me sad is they wimped out by saying that the apples you chuck at them are fluff fruit, which are soft and fluffy fruits that don't harm them. No, I loved yeeting apples at them and hearing the bonk and seeing them reel in pain, right? But obviously you can't do that anymore. So now they're like, no, it's fine. It's fluff fruit. But it's like, it's so good. The way that every Pokemon has like 6 or 7 different behaviors, and it's like, it's not only capture one of every Pokemon, it's capture one of every Pokemon for all 4 different behaviors they can do. So just so much content, and it's so good. I've never been more happy with a game than that one. Like, when we're talking about like joy to hours ratio, never once didn't have fun with it.
That's pretty high praise.
It's, I mean, it's very personal.
What was your game of the year last year?
Frick, I don't remember. I'd have to see if it's still on my phone. Let me see here. I'm gonna see if it's on here. It's been a hot minute. It's been almost 3.
You don't remember your game of the years?
Not really.
Man.
2019 GOTY, 2016 game. Let's see here. Game of the decade list. Did we do game of the decade?
I think we did, yeah.
Okay, let's see here. I don't want to update my notes app. I don't care about that. I think it was Kingdom Hearts 3.
That come out in 2020?
No, it was 2019. Never mind. I don't know. I don't even know. I'll have to like just quickly go through. Oh. Okay, here we go. No, I did find it. It was Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh.
Cause of course. That game is incredible. But was the Yuffie content this year? That's an honorable mention.
Oh yeah.
That's really good.
Oh yeah.
That was incredible. Like, the amount of extra stuff it added was so good.
Okay.
Okay. Your numero uno, good sir.
My numero uno. So, when I think of games.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
I thought you were gonna go that way, but okay.
There's video games, right? And then there's video games.
No, I get you. I get you.
Games that like take it to the next level.
Yep.
And take it to like such like because I love thinking about games. I love the theories, the world, like the worlds, the characters, and everything, and how and everything, and like this one game really made me like it came like the closest to like almost like affecting my real world perspectives.
Okay, yeah.
And type of thing, and every part of the game was just phenomenal.
Okay.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Okay.
And the gameplay is just like revolutionary.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
And this game is Final Fantasy VII Remake. Because I know it.
You only played it this year?
I only played it this year.
Okay, well, yeah. That's a good one.
What an incredible experience!
Oh man!
Only after playing the original, though.
Yeah. You need that context.
It's just like the whole story, like how Sephiroth is like jumping between these. It almost feels like he's just jumping between these like games.
Yeah, right.
Fucking with Cloud everywhere.
Yep.
Across these like different mediums.
Yep.
And just like how, like, I remember like one of my like top gaming memories now is I think when you first come out of the house into Sector 7 there.
Mm-hmm.
It's daytime and it's like just the spectacle of it.
Oh, it's huge.
And the music, it has that.
The soundtrack is and it's wild because it both has amazing remixes of the originals while also having amazing original compositions. And it's like, wow, we have new songs that sound just as good as the old ones.
Yeah. But like that moment, it's like the music was like, it was cheerful, but then there's just this air of like something's off.
Kind of a grimy undertone.
Not that, but just something about this world we're in.
Yeah.
Something is off. And like I didn't know at the time like what was actually going on with Sephiroth and everything, but I could tell just like perfectly like that something is not right here, and I loved that feeling.
Oh yeah.
And like going through it, like just discovering like what's actually happening here and how this is actually a sequel to Final Fantasy VII.
Yep.
And how it's going to go.
When did it click for you?
In that moment.
That I'm like, okay.
That I'm like, this isn't a retelling.
Okay.
This is something greater.
Okay.
And just like it just made me like, it's a game that's never made me feel like the next step in gaming, I guess, if that makes sense to you.
Oh no, absolutely. Oh no, I get it. It felt like a next evolution in what a game can be.
Yeah.
It like in terms of the combat, in terms
which is amazing.
Of the mission structure, you know, this idea of just being dropped in. I mean, people say it's like, oh, it's Final Fantasy VII, but Yakuza. But it's like, I've never, like in a Yakuza game, I've never felt like it was such a real place. The fact that there are like a bajillion conversations happening.
Oh, yeah.
When you run through a place and your entire side is full, and it's like, and you can listen to every single one of those, and it's like conversations go on for a good while for a lot of them, and it's like, wow, right? It
just the detail in every corner of the game.
There's so many details and like a loving reverence for the original.
Yeah.
Where you'll have an entire hour-long chapter for a single screen in the original.
Yeah.
Where it'll be like,
for better or for worse.
For better and worse. I mean it's wild that the part 1 is longer than Final Fantasy VII itself, but that's just because how modern storytelling is.
I don't think it's going to be a part 1 anymore. Like I said, it's a sequel, and it's going to be.
I feel like from now on, I feel like they're going to call it part 2.
Oh, I don't think they're going to call it Remake Part 2. I think it's going to be called something else.
Oh
like
yeah,
Rebirth or.
Yeah, there's some people who think that the next one's going to be called like Reconstruction or Redux or something like that. Yeah,
and like just like the possibilities of what now, just the possibilities of this universe, and how it just feels like it just doesn't feel like any other game I've ever played.
Yeah. And it's the fact that we're in this situation now where, like, you know, you literally had the ghosts that represent the expectations of the fans that have been killed now. And essentially the characters look in the camera and say, we're going to do things our way.
Yeah.
And you, like, we're on the same boat where we're all like, what's going to stay the same? What's going to be different? And wow, does that Yuffie DLC make that go even further, where now you're like, oh man, there's so much more that we never expected.
That whole, like, after credits scene where where they're on the road.
It's, like, powerful. I mean, Aerith is terrified of the world, but, like,
but she knows, she also, like, there's, like, just these little hints they have in the game that, like, does this character know what's their future?
Oh, Aerith does. Oh, it's so obvious Aerith does, right? Does. Where it's just like Aerith does, but now it seems like so does Marlene, right? Yeah. And so it's like these little moments where you just like, but like,
and then there's Sephiroth, who might pretend he knows more than he actually does.
Yeah,
and he's trying to, like.
Well, I like the fact that at one point Sephiroth just. Okay, we're going to go into spoilers, but by this point I feel like most people know. But like where Sephiroth just like shanks Barret, and then the ghosts resurrect him, and he goes, "Oh, interesting."
Yeah.
Right? and Sephiroth is learning about the rules as we are.
Yeah.
And it's funny because that's like a reference to the fact that Barret was originally the one who was supposed to die instead of Aerith.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so it's like, but he's you know, he's playing around with the rules. He's like, you know, seeing how things work. And there's so many questions that we all still have. And so it's like every time something new comes from it, it's like, I want to know. It feels like
I want to know every single part of this world.
Yeah, because like as soon as I finished the game, I started reading the novels. Because the novels goes into Leslie and it goes into Kyrie and like all these characters that you see a little bit of, and it's like I want to know more about them.
Yeah.
Right? It goes into the landlord, Tifa's landlord there. You know, where it's just like Marl, and it's like these little things that, you know, you want to learn more about them because it's such an interesting world. And it's so bigger than what I could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
Like when I heard the remake in Final Fantasy VII, I didn't have I was excited, but I was scared that they wouldn't be able to do it. But now it's like I look at it and I'm like, no, they got it. Right? And yeah, they need to split it up, but that's just because they're making it huge, right?
Yeah. And like, well, like I was like a long time ago when I was talking to Beat, he's like, oh, I wish he wishes they didn't like load with the Sephiroth battle, but I think that was just Sephiroth literally just toying with Cloud.
Yeah,
like he wasn't even like using like a quarter of his power there.
No, and well,
and it's just like how bigger does this go? Like are we going to see one winged angel Sephiroth?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. But like, in what context this time?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, like, I think, like, if you were to ask me, like, what's one of the disappointments about Final Fantasy VII is the fact that you never fight Sephiroth the villain until the end. He's not, like, a perpetual threat. Like, he kind of is.
Well, that's but in that... Sorry.
But it's like, he kind of is, but it's because they're all just clones that you then fight the Genova piece, right? Yeah. And so it's like, now you actually have the persistent threat of Sephiroth, and I think that's really cool.
But it's because in the original, Sephiroth didn't see Cloud in them as much of a threat.
Yeah.
But now that he's back in time, he's like, okay, these people are the reason for my demise, and I got to stop them at every point.
Right, and it's just like, it's so interesting to think about all that.
Yeah.
And it's also
interesting. It's not even confirmed that he's like a time traveler.
No.
We're just heavily
yeah, we're just heavily implied. But even stuff where it's like, this is also a Final Fantasy VII, where now that we know of all the extended media that comes out later, we can bring that all in.
Yeah.
So it's like, I saw people bemoaning. They're like, oh, frick, they're bringing in the Dirge Cerberus weirdos. And it's like, I'm like, no.
But they're recontextualizing them into super cool things.
But not even that. I'm like, yeah, bring in the weirdos. Put them in a cool game now.
Yeah.
So now it's like, and the fact that, you know, you go through the Yuffie DLC, which is phenomenal for the gameplay editions. It's so fast. But you go and you know, you get to fight them in new ways. You get to see them be a threat that continues, right? that's not the end of them. It's not a one-off cameo. There's still plans with them coming out. You look at you see the ending and you're like, there's stuff that's gonna happen. And even the new characters are also ones where you're like, I still like them. They're not the classic ones, but I still enjoy these characters. Like Sonon.
Oh yeah, okay. I was thinking of the main game still.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like even in the main game where they're like they add new characters, and you're just like, these characters weren't in the original, or scenes that like weren't in the original, and now they're great. The cloud dancing.
That whole the
whole honeybee in thing.
Not just the honeybee, but the wall market.
Oh, wall market, yeah,
it's just
great.
Like, one of the best parts of the game.
It's so good.
It's just like, yeah, it's incredible.
It's
one of my favorite games of all time.
Oh, by far. Yeah. Oh yeah, and again, it helps that the gameplay is fun.
Yeah,
and it helps that you can literally, after you beat the game, it almost has a Platinum Games thing of, okay, you beat the tutorial. Now go through hard mode. And hard mode feels like the real game. Where you're like, those boss fights on hard mode, I started playing some of them. Oh man, they are
and they're different
challenges.
And they're different.
They're different. Yeah. And you get tangible rewards for them. Which, I mean, I don't think everything will transfer over to the next game. I feel like for balance purposes, it's gonna be like materia, weapons, and weapon skills. I feel like that's gonna be about it. It's not gonna be like my Cloud's level 99. I don't think, or the limit, whatever it is. I don't think he's gonna be starting the next part fully leveled, right?
It was gonna be level 1, but it's gonna be level 99.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be still as strong as the remake, but in the menus it's gonna be level 1.
I don't think it's gonna be just as strong.
Because they're gonna fight tougher enemies now that they're out in the world.
Okay. Oh no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
yeah. But it's not like I'm gonna one-shot them.
No.
Yeah, no.
You're just fighting tougher enemies that would be a challenge at level 99.
Yeah.
In remake.
Yeah, that's fair.
So.
And it's just like I'm so excited to see where it goes.
Me too.
Like, so good.
Gonna be there day one.
Oh man, and the fact that it's like the Yuffie content even just shows like a glimpse of how much faster they can do the gameplay now. Or like Yuffie's synergy attacks just makes me think like for the first time we can have like dual techs with the characters. Have like, you know, Barrett throw Cloud and do an attack, or, you know, have, you know, Vincent and Barrett do like a double shot technique or something, right? Where you're gonna get those combinations in gameplay, and I think that's really cool.
And I can't wait to see like the locations, like the port city, and how giant that's gonna be, and like like what are the weapons gonna look like?
Oh, I don't think we're getting to the weapons yet.
No. But like when we get there, like how are they gonna be implemented?
Yep.
And I just like, I think Max said like how he wants like the second one to start is in the back of the Shinra van with Cloud and Sephiroth just sitting there, and it's like stormy night. Oh,
starting with the flashback right away. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense when you look at where they end in after the Yuffie DLC.
Yeah,
it's perfect. They end that DLC walking into Calm, so literally start right off with that as the tutorial.
And then like after the tutorial or like the flashback, they're in the hotel, and then you have the Calm as the opening town, and then you go.
I think it's perfect. It would be so perfect.
And it would start to give the second one a bit of a more darker tone because we're in like uncharted waters. As the fans and the characters.
Yeah, that's
so it's like
I can't wait. It's exciting,
right? And just like, well, when I was referencing like, it just feels real. I don't know why. Like these characters feel.
Oh no, because
I don't know how to explain.
No, it gives me the same feeling of One Piece, where it feels like it's happening right now.
Yeah.
And it feels like I'm not talking about something that will come out and like, you know, or is in development right now. It feels like it's happening right now. And when I'm talking about it, I'm talking about it with the like the worries of them being real people almost.
Yeah.
Right? Because the level of personality and the level of everything about it just makes me, it feels like it's happening. And it feels like an event that I'm watching with people happen. Yeah.
And we did a podcast on it too.
Did
a
we?
while ago. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So if you want more thoughts there, we covered like all the Final Fantasy VII stuff.
Oh right, yeah,
Remember?
yeah, we did. Yeah.
So if you want to learn more of our thoughts, you can go check that out.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Oh, so good.
Cool.
You gonna play the Battle Royale game?
Nope.
Apparently it's really good. Because it's literally, and when I say literally, I mean literally, it is the engine of Remake.
Really? On
You
mobile?
your classes are literally Sword Fighter is Cloud, Gunner is Barret, Monk is Tifa, Spellcaster is Aerith, and Ninja is Yuffie. You pick literally pick a character. They have the full move sets. You literally play a Battle Royale version of the Final Fantasy VII Remake gameplay.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of oh, and if you get it on computer, because you can just install an emulator, you get a controller.
Oh,
you could just play it like a computer game.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there a story?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's about the original soldier VR training.
And it's in the Remake universe.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So exciting to see where that goes. I haven't played it much myself, but
I haven't even played it once.
It's from what I've seen, it's like, yeah, that's 1-to-1.
Cool.
Okay. Well, what about games we're looking forward to next year? Let's grab the list of 2021 or 2022. Gotta get used to that. 2022 games. Let's see here. Where is the 2022? Let's see here. Just looking here, Windjammers 2, the new Gunvolt Luminous Avenger X, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Let's see here, King of Fighters 15, very excited for that. Just looking here for other ones.
Elden Ring.
I don't care personally,
really?
But no, I really don't. Persona 4 Ultimax. I'm excited because did you see what was leaked?
No.
A collection for both Switch and PS4 that includes Golden. P4 Golden and P4 Ultimax as a bundle.
Ooh.
On both PS4 and Switch.
Oh shit.
Oh dude, Stranger Paradise is so good.
What about your personal favorite, Chocobo GP?
I'm excited for that.
Okay.
It's also a free game.
Oh, is it?
You can get a version that's free.
Oh.
And you'll get so it's like literally the free version is basically Mario Kart download play, where if you get it, like if everyone downloads it and one person has the game, everyone has access to the full game to play together.
Oh, okay. That's
but if not, you can play a couple tracks and you can like play through with like less stuff. But otherwise you can it's like download play. So like awesome. Great. That's awesome.
Nice.
Rune Factory 5 I'm excited for. What else is here? Yo, play 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. It's really, really, really good and it's coming to Switch. Although, honestly, the PS4 version, if you can get it for $20, it's probably worth it more. Let's see here.
Well, there's a new Test Drive Unlimited coming out.
I guess so.
That's cool.
And unscheduled. Let's see here. Just taking a look. Azure Striker Gunvolt. Oh, Bayonetta 3. It's going to be really good.
What else?
I like how Cyberpunk 2077 is on there.
The PS5 and
That's
Xbox Series
hilarious.
X version.
That game's dead. Yo, Digimon Survive, though. I'm excited for that.
It's going to get delayed again.
Yeah, probably. Dragon Ball The Breakers. You seen that one? That's Dead by Daylight with Dragon Ball characters. Literally.
Okay.
You play as a random NPC and one person plays as a Dragon Ball character. So you're going around firing beams and destroying town while everyone runs for their lives as a character.
Really?
That's actually cool. The sickest concept ever. Like, it's hilarious.
So it's kind of being like a civilian in like a Superman fight.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's one person gets to be Superman, in this case, one of the Dragon Ball villains. Everyone else is a regular human, except some of them have powers. So, for instance, you could be like this, you can be Oolong. He's this little like pig guy, and his power is that he can like transform into stuff. So you can literally transform into a vending machine and hide by just
Oh, so it's like
prop hunt.
Prop hunt.
Yeah. So he's like prop hunt, and then there's other ones that have missions where you can like go around like as Bulma, and she can do like objectives to try and kill him. So then in that case, she plays like Dead by Daylight, where you're trying to do objectives to get out of there. Or you could play as a male human, and in that case, you get these items that let you become the heroes of Dragon Ball. Huh. And if enough people become the heroes of Dragon Ball, they can team up and beat up the bad guy. So it's actually a really cool idea.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's really cool.
Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, is that the remakes of the games?
That is the remakes of the originals with new stuff.
I'm interested in that.
I'm probably gonna do Let's Plays of them, right? Because it's gonna do all canon titles. Advent Children before Crisis is gonna be interesting because that's never had a real way. It has RPG combat. Title will be free to play, but will offer loot boxes, offer random selections of weapons and costumes. I think the costumes being in is fun. Mm-hmm. Excited for that.
I wonder if it's going to tie into remake.
Oh, 100%.
How do you think it would?
I think it's going to anything that remake needs to have that wasn't in the original. So, for example, by having, because like Before Crisis never came out in the West, so by having the Before Crisis there, you can make it, because there is a Before Crisis reference in the Yuffie DLC. Do you remember the projector boss?
Yeah.
That has a name. The music track makes it seem like it is a mutated version of a Before Crisis character.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people thinking that this will tie into stuff that could explain that, right? So I'm excited to play through that for sure. Freedom Planet 2. Man, that's going to be good.
God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah. You think that's coming out next year?
No.
I don't think so. Let's see here. Sorry, they're making a new Joe and Mac game? What the frick?
Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Very excited for 3D Kirby. That's going to be awesome.
Breath of the Wild 2.
Breath of the Wild 2, yeah.
That's probably happening next year.
I think so. Not super interested in the Mario and Rabbids sequel, personally.
People are, though.
I got almost all the way through, and I was like, I started not having fun with some of the bull crap they kind of push you through. Dude, Metal Slug Tactics, I'm so excited for. The game looks so good. Let's see. Oh, River City Girls 2. So I got to play through the first one, but I'm excited. It's a thing. Oh, and River City Girls 0. Do you know what they're doing for River City Girls 0?
No.
So they're literally taking an old, never before localized River City Ransom game, the only one that lets you play as girls as well, and they literally are recontextualizing it as a prequel to River City Girls.
Huh.
And like they got like 80s anime style and like new sort of stuff, and they literally that's what it looks like. Super 80s style for them because it's a real old Super Nintendo game. So I think bringing that back is cool. Let's see here. I am excited to see what Sonic Frontiers does.
Yeah.
Because Sonic Frontiers has Ian Flynn doing the writing, and I trust Ian Flynn with my life and my child. Ian Flynn is the best. It's sort of like, imagine getting word that they're making a new Spider-Man game, but that Spider-Man game is written by the guy who's written every single good Spider-Man comic.
Pretty exciting.
Where you're like, oh no, this one's gonna have a good story, huh?
Yeah.
Where it's like, even if the game is not great, at least the story will be good. Sploon 3.
Yeah.
Excited to see where that goes. TMNT Shredder's Revenge. That's another indie that looks incredible. Can't believe like this. We're eating it up, sprite artist fans, right? Like it's so good. And then video game. Oh, dude, the Mario movies next year.
Late next year.
Hey, bada bing! I'm Mario.
I'm Chris Pratt.
I'm Mario. I want to see Seth Rogen Donkey Kong so badly. No, I want to see Seth Rogen, Donkey Kong. That's all I want to see. I just want to see go, hey, it's just like that. That's all I want to see. That's all I need to see. How you feeling about the Uncharted movie?
There's a new trailer that came out.
I saw it in theaters.
Like the new one?
The
that
trailer.
Showed Sully,
yeah.
Think, with his mustache?
Yeah.
I mean...
It looks a little generic, I'll say.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a little almost too accurate to the games. To a point where it's like, why don't you just play the game? It's like a 12-hour version of this, right? I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know. I'm excited for Sonic 2. It's going to be good. Well, what's 2023, actually? Because they have 2023 already here. What's been confirmed? Oh, God, Beyond Good and Evil 2? No way.
Darkest Dungeon 2. Gotta get that gene.
Ooh,
rep.
new Sissionia When They Cry. Wow, that's 2022.
Oh, the Dragon Quest 3 HD 2-day remake. I want to play that.
Oh, one. Yeah. Oh, and Dragon Quest 12 also. Yeah. That's going to be interesting.
Elder Scrolls 6.
No. Sorry, that's just going to be... They're going to call it Skyrim 2.
Fall Guys is coming out? I'm just kidding. Final Fantasy 16. Is that 2023 now?
I guess so. Huh. I'm excited to see what that... I forgot about it. I forgot the fact that it's Devil May Cry Final Fantasy. That's going to be sick.
Hollow Knight Silk
Song is
still far away.
Oh, yo, Marvel Wolverine.
Oh, yeah. And Spider-Man 3
and
or 2.
Spider-Man 2. Those are going to be great. I'm excited for Nirvana. Yo, wait, really? Amori for PS4 and Xbox. I'm like, what? Okay, yeah.
Overwatch 2.
Aren't you excited?
Yeah.
What the... Wait, was Project Awakening that crazy one? No, I don't remember. Oh yeah,
Skull and Bones.
They're making a new Skate. I'm hoping that it's as janky as Skate 3 in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all these Untitled games. New Bungie.
Oh, the Untitled Kojima game.
I think it's gonna be a movie. I seriously think he's just gonna make a movie.
You think so?
Yeah.
Or what if it's Silent Hill?
We'll see. Oh my God, they have Pikmin 4 on here. That's so funny.
Announced in
Prime
2015.
4, Pikmin 4.
Dead Island 2 announced in 2014.
Oh. No, that's dead. Oh, Deep Down? Come on. Deep Down is so dead. Dude, Deep Down was shown at like the PS4 release. Yeah. They literally confirmed it's dead. Come on, guys. Come on. Well, yeah, we got some good stuff coming out. Mm-hmm. I'm excited, and even beyond that, just seeing new stuff. Right? Why are you clicking on Stadia? Oh,
I want to see what Stadia is all about.
Dude, Stadia's dead. It's literally 2021. It says scaling back. The 2021 era says scaling back.
Look at all these Assassin's Creed games you can play.
Yeah, an awesome.
Ben 10 Power Trip.
Dude, do you know how it works, right?
It's a cloud game.
Yeah, but you know how cloud games work?
They stream.
But yeah, they're just streaming a PC playing
Doom
it.
64.
Yeah, because it's just a PC playing it. You're getting a PC to play it, and then it goes through, and it's like it doesn't work because it doesn't work.
Oh, look at all those Far Cry games.
Oh, wow.
Final Fantasy 15's on here.
Yeah, it's also on Switch in the better version.
Hello Neighbor. All the Hitmans.
Ice Age Scrat's Nutty Adventure, dude. Jay and Silent Bob, Chronic Blunt Punch. It's a real game, dude.
Fuck.
Oh. But that said Klonoa for a second, and I was gonna throttle someone. It's like, no way.
Marvel's Avengers.
Oh man, that's just what you need. You need the cloud version of a terrible game.
Octopath Traveler's on there.
It's on Steam. It's just Steam running
One Piece World Seeker.
Yeah, because it's just Steam games. Paw Patrol Safe Adventure Bay. Paw Patrol the movie Adventure Calls City Challenge.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, because they actually bundled it with both Resident Evils for a while there because they really wanted people.
Showdown.
Yeah, because that's just what I want. I want a game with lag. I want to play a fighting game with input lag. It's awesome. Just what I need.
Got Streets of Rage game.
Again, like literally all these just play on your computer. Just play them on your computer.
Wow.
Yeah, those would work fine. Because there's no input. There's no input like there.
And Zorro the Chronicle.
Oh God. And the fact that you needed to like if you got the Stadia, you would then need to play. You would then need to buy Stadia Pro to play most of these. It was bad.
What did you say winding down?
Yeah, right there, Skating back 2021. It's like literally they said, yeah, we're done, pretty much. Sean Hollister of The Verge suggested the shutdown may have been triggered following the release of Cyberpunk 2077 on Stadia. So bad. Why would you do that? So bad.
You didn't get a Stadia?
No!
But you got a Polymega?
Yes! Those are very different. Those are very different. Like, they could not be more different. One needs the physical media and plays it perfectly. One needs nothing and barely works.
Well, you don't need a system. You can save the space.
I don't care.
It's all through the cloud, dude.
I don't care.
And there's Saber.
There she is. I love Saber.
My Coke dealer when I asked for a gram of Pepsi.
Okay. Well, I think we're about done here.
Okay.
Right? So that was 2021 in gaming.
The
The
World Widies.
The what? What are you talking about?
The World Widies.
Okay.
It's like the awards.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, you added IDES to our name.
Yeah.
Okay.
The World Widies.
That sounds
rolls off the tongue.
Sounds terrible. We could be the Shippies. Come on.
No, the World Widies.
The Shippy. Okay, no, but Shippies has to be like a competition for like internet ships, right?
He's searching it
Shippies Awards. The Shippy Awards presented by Mr. Ship It. Oh man, that's like it's a shipping company thing.
Oh, it's for ships.
Oh, like actual ships on the water. Well, no, but there's both one for shipping packages and one for ships on the water. Dang. They're both taken.
Why are there just waves?
World Widies Awards. Has this been copyrighted?
No, it hasn't. Mr. Worldwide.
When you're a Ugandan Italian German who makes Cuban-inspired Europop that becomes a hit in the U.S., Lou Bega, Mr. Worldwidey. Okay. I think we're about done here. I'm losing my mind.
Even after Garfield?
Oh, watch Eye Patch Wolf's
Garpatch?
Watch Eye Patch Wolf's Garfield video, please.
Only if you want your perception of
reality. Everyone needs to know. They need eyes on the inside of the lasagna. Okay. We'll see you guys later.
That's where we're ending it at?
As we're ending it.
Eyes inside of the lasagna?
Yes. Have yourselves a merry 2021 finale celebration. Don't get too...
Why don't you just say Happy New Year?
Don't get too crunk, is what I'm saying. Please drink responsibly.
How are you saying that?
Because I don't want to say that if people are partying not on the New Year's.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So, bye.
Bye.